Man, where's Trump?
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about urban radio host from New York City's Power 105.1, The Breakfast Club, Charlamagne the God, finally seeing the light as it relates to Joe Biden not being a good president. As a matter of fact, he's a terrible president. You have inflation going crazy, supply chain shortages, the foreign relations are terrible. He's going out on stage, he's cussing and fussing and carrying on. He is not a good president. And as a matter of fact, the whole team, the whole administration are just trash. And it's gotten so bad that this black liberal radio show host and hip hop culture is now saying, hey, let's bring back Trump. Let's bring him back. Now, out of anybody in the world, Charlamagne should have known better from the very beginning than to put any kind of trust and or faith in Biden. But before I go down that road, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you're going to see and hear what Charlamagne said about Biden and Trump. After we get done with that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what he said there. Then I'll give you the rest of my 2 cents and my deep, detailed analysis. And then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Man, where's Trump?
Yeah.
Get this motherfucker. They feel like they would rather get it raw.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? At least we know where that motherfucker's at. These motherfuckers gassing us up, lying to us, promising us didn't deliver. Like, I cannot wait to see, and I'm already watching it. I'm watching Democrats start the campaign. They're already like,
Hillary,
you got to go out there and vote. Like, democracy depends on it. I'm like, when y'all gonna start governing like democracy depends on it? No, for real.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, I have so much to say. There's so much I could just talk about right now, but the first thing is the most obvious thing, the elephant in the room, in my humble opinion. Charlamagne the God should have known better than to put any kind of trust and or faith in Joe Biden, because remember that whole, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Remember that now infamous comment? Well, that comment was directed at Charlamagne the God specifically.
You know, thanks so much. That's really our time. I apologize.
You can't do that to black media.
I can't do that to white media and black media because my wife has to go on at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm in trouble.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man.
So when you heard something like that, this is before the election now, when you heard something like that, when you're saying, hey, what are you going to bring to the table? What are you going to do for the black community? How are you going to be different than Donald Trump? When he says something to you like, look, man, vote for me or you ain't black. When he says that, that should have been an automatic, nope, not going to vote for you. He gave you a straight disrespectful comment, a non-answer, and you still say, all right, Orange Man bad, I ain't going to vote for him. Okay, by not supporting Trump, by going out and being against him publicly, but not being against Biden publicly, you pretty much said vote for Joe Biden. Because we are in a two-party system. It is what it is. People could say it's good, bad, whatever. That's really irrelevant for my point right now. The point is, we're talking about a national election for the president. You could vote red or blue. For right now, that's the way it is. You could vote for somebody else, but it's not going to matter. You could vote for Kanye West. You could vote for yourself or whoever. Left or right, red or blue. That's really what it is right now as far as a presidential election. Okay, local is different, but president, that's the way it is. So if you come out and say don't vote for Trump or you're hating on Trump, you're talking about voting for Joe Biden. And now you have buyer's remorse. A lot of people have buyer's remorse. I'm seeing that, quite frankly, all over the place. This is not even an uncommon thing. But Charlamagne should have been the main one to know not to do it. But here we are. And I think a lot of people miss Trump. Even those that kind of hated him or hated on him or didn't vote for him, they kind of miss him. Because right now what you're getting is a worse situation. Regardless of what you think about Trump, he's racist, he's all these obics, obes, and this. Regardless of what you think, the country was better, undeniably better. The only thing that kind of got in the way was the virus. Okay, now I'm not sure where that came from, how it came to be, how it just happened upon us right in an election year. I'm not sure how that happened, but it happened, and that messed things up. If not for that, we're talking about Trump term 2, for sure, 100%. Mail-in ballots and fear-mongering from the media, that's kind of what drove Biden into office. More than Stacey Abrams in Georgia, more than that, it was a virus. It messed everything up, okay? People just put all the problems with the virus on Trump's back. Now, how can that be Trump's fault when he was the guy trying to stop it? Remember when he said, cut off the Chinese travel? And Nancy Pelosi said, no, that's racist. Go to Chinatown, eat a hamburger, whatever you're going to do, right? That's what they were talking about back then. But then they act like Trump didn't do anything. He was slow to the trigger. He was not proactive, all this, that, and the third. The media and the politicians are pretty much hand in hand working against Trump, working against the Republican Party. So you get this guy in office right now. So a guy like Charlamagne would be part of that whole media establishment working against Trump in favor of Biden, if not directly, then by default. If you're against Trump vehemently and you're not against Biden vehemently, you're for Biden. That's how that works. So now you got what you got. $4 a gallon gas. You can't even buy anything because of the supply chain issues. Like if you want some furniture for your house, or if you want a house in general, you're going to pay 10x more and you're not going to be able to find one. You know, I'm on Zillow all the time looking at stuff. And I just I keep an eye on the market and see what's happening every day. It's like nothing available. And what you're going to get is like way overpriced trash. You're going to get a bando in a small town for $500,000. That's kind of the way it is now. I'm kind of exaggerating, but that's pretty much on point. That's the way it is. So who can say they voted for Biden and their vote was a good vote? That they do it again. And they could just turn back the hands of time and vote for Biden or Trump, who would they pick? There's a lot of people that have buyer's remorse. They have regret. They wish they voted for Trump rather than this guy in office right now. Okay. And another thing, everything that they said Trump is or was, Biden is. Cussing at reporters, racial comments, I know about roaches, vote for me, you ain't black, all kind of stuff like that, right? That's what he does. Now they're going to try to put this black Supreme Court justice nomination out there and say, okay, here's a little prize for you black folks. We're not going to help with the economy. We're not going to help with the inflation. You know, if you ask about the inflation, I'm going to call you a stupid SOB live on camera and call you back and say, hey, man, nothing personal, pal. You all right. You tough, right? That's what I'm going to do when I get asked any kind of question like that. That's what's going on right now. And the question I have to anybody, are y'all going to take that? Y'all just going to accept that? I wouldn't. And I definitely, if it was me in that situation where I voted for a guy and he said that to me, I wouldn't accept that. I would not take that at all. But here we are with people just taking whatever is given to them. Now, shout out to Charlamagne, though. I like that he said this right now, but where was that energy for Joe Biden when he got on your show and told you, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black? Where was that energy back then? Have the same energy toward Joe Biden in his face that you had against him in favor of Trump on the podcast. That's all I'm going to say. You know, these people have no problem talking to Trump, screaming out questions in the press corps. They got no problem with that. But then when it comes to Joe Biden and what he's doing wrong and how the country is not in a very good state right now, they're quiet as church mice. I say keep that same energy. How about that? But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this whole thing of people having buyer's remorse when talking about voting for Joe Biden and against Trump? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. How you feel about Charlamagne the God now having buyer's remorse, who was the same guy that got told, look, vote for me or you ain't black. That same guy should have known what it was going to be. He told you what it was going to be from the beginning. When someone tells you who they are and what they're going to do, believe it. If they lead with a racist comment like that, look, if you black, all right, vote for me. That's all you got to. If they lead with that, don't expect anything great from them. Just don't do it. You're not going to get it. You're going to be disappointed. That's just what it is. But you guys know where I'm at. Shout out to everybody that has buyer's remorse. You know, I'm not going to just, hold it against you too much. I'm not going to say, I told you so, ha, ha, ha. No. Not going to do that. But what I will say is that let it be a learning experience. Let it be a lesson. And don't do it again. Don't vote for the same guy. Okay? A lot of you Californians leaving and going to Austin, Texas, making that California Central or California East. Don't do it. Leave all the California nonsense behind. If you want California, just stay there. Just stay there. It's already a place called California. Do not create another one. It's so simple. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.